Have you ever wondered if our universe is truly alone? Imagine for a moment that the endless night sky above your head, with its countless stars and galaxies, is only a single page in a book so vast it can never be finished. What lies beyond that page? Could there be other universes, each with its own stars, its own laws of nature, perhaps even its own version of you? Try to picture it now. You are standing outside on a calm night, the air cool, the sky stretching endlessly above you. The constellations seem fixed, familiar, almost eternal. Yet, hidden beyond that blanket of darkness may be other skies, skies you will never see, skies belonging to realms that exist beyond the reach of our universe. It is a thought that feels both impossible and beautiful, a mystery so large that it can carry your mind far beyond the ordinary. Tonight, we are beginning a journey into the multiverse dream, the idea that our universe may be just one among many. Some may be like ours, with galaxies and stars. Others may be utterly strange, shaped by rules we cannot even imagine. Together we will drift gently through these possibilities, exploring them not with urgency but with curiosity, letting the vastness of the idea itself calm the mind. Before we begin, I want to remind you that you do not need to stay awake for all of this. If your eyes grow heavy as you listen, that is perfectly fine. These words will still be here if you return tomorrow. And if you enjoy this kind of quiet journey, I would be grateful if you considered subscribing so that others may find their way here too. Now, let us begin. The idea of a multiverse often begins with a simple recognition that our own universe is not as stable and permanent as it seems. Everything we see today, from the galaxies to the stars to the planets under our feet, emerged from a single event nearly 14 billion years ago. The Big Bang was not just the birth of light and matter, but the unfolding of space and time themselves. When we step back and consider that moment, we are faced with a question that echoes quietly in the background of cosmology. If the universe came from such an event once, why could it not have happened many times, giving rise to countless universes beyond our own? Physicists often turn to the concept of inflation to explain why our universe looks the way it does. In its earliest fraction of existence, the universe is thought to have expanded at a rate faster than the speed of light, stretching space smooth and wide, ironing out the wrinkles of chaos into a vast, nearly uniform expanse. This idea helps explain why the cosmos appears the same in all directions and why galaxies are spread as they are. But inflation may not have been a single, neat event. Some theories suggest it could be eternal, with different regions of space inflating at different times, each one giving birth to a new universe. If that is true, then our cosmos is only one bubble in an infinite sea, each bubble containing its own space, its own time, and its own story. To imagine this, picture a pot of water boiling on a stove. Bubbles rise to the surface, forming and separating, each one distinct, each one shaped by the same process. Now replace the water with an endless expanse of energy and imagine each bubble as a universe. Some bubbles may grow large, others may collapse, and some may float forever, never touching. In this image, our universe is just one bubble, floating alongside countless others, each sealed off from the rest. We cannot cross into them, but they may still exist, spread across an endless sea of creation. The multiverse is not only about repetition, but about possibility. Each universe may carry its own laws of physics, its own balances of matter and energy, its own rhythm of time. In one universe, gravity may be stronger, pulling stars and planets together in denser clusters. In another, the balance of particles may be different, preventing galaxies from ever forming at all. Still another may resemble our own so closely that it would be impossible to tell the difference, save for the smallest of details. The multiverse is a dream of endless variety, a canvas where all possibilities may unfold. This raises a profound question. Why is our universe the way it is? Why does it have laws and constants that allow stars to shine, planets to form, and life to emerge? If the multiverse is real, then perhaps the answer lies in numbers. Out of countless universes, many may be barren, with conditions that allow nothing but emptiness. A few may be rich with light and matter, as ours is. In that way, our universe is not special because it was designed to host life, but because only in a universe with conditions like ours could life arise to ask the question at all. This idea is sometimes called the anthropic principle, and though it does not solve every mystery, it offers a quiet reminder that our existence is tied to the laws of the universe itself. Consider how delicate those laws are. If the strength of gravity were slightly different, stars might burn too quickly or never ignite at all. If the balance of energy between particles were shifted, atoms might not form. If the expansion of space had unfolded at another pace, galaxies might never have gathered. And yet, in this universe, all of those balances came together in such a way that life could eventually appear. The multiverse suggests that what seems like impossible precision may not be rare at all, but inevitable in an endless variety of universes. Somewhere, the conditions were right, and we happen to live in that somewhere. It is a dizzying thought, but also a comforting one. The universe is vast, and we are small, yet we are not here by mistake. We are the outcome of a cosmic lottery, one in which the winning ticket is not luck but inevitability across countless trials. The multiverse, if it exists, means that possibility itself is boundless. For every barren world, there may be one alive with light. For every dark and empty cosmos, there may be another filled with galaxies. Our universe is one of those places where the conditions allowed us to be, and that is why we are here to imagine the rest. Though we can never cross into another universe, the idea of them changes how we see our own. It turns the night sky from a boundary into a doorway, reminding us that beyond the horizon may lie not emptiness, but abundance, hidden realms that mirror and diverge from our own in ways we may never know. The multiverse does not shrink the value of our universe. Instead, it expands it, placing it in a grander context, a reminder that existence itself is richer than we can grasp. As you let these thoughts drift through your mind, imagine yourself floating in that endless sea of bubbles. Around you are universes rising and expanding, each glowing faintly with its own stars and galaxies. They are sealed from you, but you can sense their presence like lanterns glowing behind distant walls. Your universe is only one among them, fragile and fleeting, yet also vast and full of life. The multiverse dream is not about leaving this world, but about understanding how much more there may be, how reality itself may stretch far beyond what your eyes can see. Rest with that image for a while, letting it calm you. You are part of a universe that is full of stars, but perhaps also part of something greater, a grand collection of realities, each carrying its own story. You may never touch them, but knowing they might exist is enough to spark wonder. The multiverse is not a conclusion but an invitation, a reminder that mystery is always larger than knowledge, and that imagination is as infinite as the cosmos itself. When people imagine the multiverse, they often picture countless universes existing side by side, like bubbles floating in a vast sea. Each one is sealed off, never touching, never crossing. But there is another idea, one that is stranger still. What if other universes are not far away, separated by distance, but layered on top of our own, hidden from sight, woven into the same space yet invisible to us? This possibility suggests that reality may be deeper than the surface we see, a fabric of overlapping worlds, each unfolding its own version of events. Think of a mirror. You look into it and see a reflection of yourself. It looks familiar, but it is reversed, a twin that moves as you move but never truly touches you. Now imagine that the reflection is not just an image but a world of its own, where events unfold in ways both similar and different. In such a mirror universe, there might be stars and galaxies, perhaps even life. Yet its time might flow differently, its history might diverge, and its destiny may not match ours. These mirror realities are not proven, but they offer a poetic way of thinking about how existence could branch and multiply in unseen directions. One reason such ideas arise is because the laws of physics, as we know them, leave room for symmetry and balance. For every particle, there exists an opposite particle, and for every force, there may be a hidden partner. Some scientists wonder whether this balance could extend to entire universes. If so, then ours may be paired with another, a cosmic twin existing in harmony or contrast. That twin might not look like ours at all, but it would share a connection at the deepest level of reality. Now imagine time itself flowing differently in another universe. In our world, time marches forward, carrying events from past to present to future. But in another, time might move in reverse, with stars unforming, galaxies collapsing, and matter streaming back into singular beginnings. To us, such a universe would look impossible, but from within it, life might experience it as natural. Inhabitants of that world, if they existed, would see their own arrow of time pointing forward, even though to us it would seem backward. The idea is unsettling but also beautiful. It shows us how much of our perspective is shaped by the rules we know, and how those rules may not be absolute in the grander scheme of things. Mirror universes can also be imagined as variations of our own, places where events unfolded differently. Perhaps in one universe, the great galaxies we see today never formed, leaving only scattered stars drifting in isolation. In another, the balance of matter and energy might have been slightly altered, creating universes too dense, collapsing quickly under their own gravity, or too thin, expanding so rapidly that structures never formed. Yet in another, conditions may have mirrored ours so closely that a world like Earth still emerged, though its story unfolded in unfamiliar ways. The multiverse invites us to wonder if every possible history could find its home somewhere. There is something profoundly human about this way of thinking. We often reflect on the choices we make, imagining how our lives might have been different if we had taken another path. The multiverse expands that reflection to a cosmic scale. It asks whether the universe itself might contain those different paths played out across realities beyond our own. If one universe contains the history we know, could another contain histories that never happened here but were possible all the same? The thought is dizzying, but it also provides a sense of wonder. In our daily lives, we often see only one version of events, one reality unfolding before us. But if the multiverse exists, reality may be far richer, layered with countless possibilities. Each possibility is sealed away, invisible to us, yet no less real for being unreachable. The dream of mirror universes reminds us that what we see is not the whole of what might be. This perspective also reshapes how we see our place in the cosmos. Instead of being the only universe, we become one of many, each with its own rhythms of time and space. Our stars shine here, while others may shine elsewhere, unseen. Our galaxies drift apart, while other galaxies in other universes may follow different destinies. Our story unfolds, but so too may countless others, parallel or divergent. Each is a thread in a larger fabric, each a note in a deeper harmony of existence. As you think of this, picture yourself walking through a hall of mirrors. Each reflection looks like you, yet each one shifts slightly, showing angles and patterns that are not quite the same. Now imagine that each mirror is not an illusion but a reality, each reflection its own universe, each one moving in its own direction. You stand among them, unable to step inside, but aware that they exist all the same. The multiverse may be like that hall, filled with reflections of reality itself, some familiar, some utterly strange. The beauty of the multiverse dream is that it does not require certainty to inspire wonder. Whether or not other universes exist, the thought of them invites us to expand our imagination, to step beyond the boundaries of what we know, to feel the possibility of infinity pressing softly against the edges of our minds. These reflections may never be seen, but they still remind us of the mystery of reality, a mystery large enough to carry you through the quiet hours of the night. Rest with that thought for a while. Let it settle gently, like a calm tide washing across your mind. Even if our universe is alone, the dream of the multiverse remains, whispering of hidden worlds and mirrored realities, of time flowing differently and histories unfolding elsewhere. You may never see them, but in imagining them, you are already part of something larger, a story that stretches beyond the boundaries of sight into the vast and endless unknown. The word infinity is one of the most difficult ideas for the human mind to hold. You can picture a large number, and then a larger one, and then another, but eventually your imagination falters. Infinity does not mean large, it means without end, stretching beyond limits, never arriving at a final stop. When the idea of infinity is applied to the multiverse, it paints a picture of endless realities, each one different, each one carrying its own version of existence. This possibility suggests that every variation, every twist of chance, every outcome that could ever happen may have its place somewhere in the vastness. Consider the universe, you know. The Earth circles the sun, stars shine in the Milky Way, galaxies form patterns across the sky. This is your version of reality, the one you live in. But if the multiverse is infinite, then there may be other universes where the same starting conditions played out differently. Perhaps in one, the Milky Way formed with a slightly different shape, its spiral arms bent in another curve. In another, the sun burned hotter or cooler, shaping planets in unfamiliar ways. In still another, Earth itself may not exist at all, replaced by another world orbiting another star. The strange truth of infinity is that it makes room for every possibility, not just once, but endlessly. Somewhere in that boundless spread, there may be universes almost identical to ours, so similar that the same stars shine and the same Earth circles the same sun. But there may also be universes where small details are different, where continents are arranged in unfamiliar patterns, or where species other than humans rose to build civilizations. And if infinity is real, those differences do not happen once. They happen over and over, repeating without end. The idea is not only vast, but also deeply personal. If the multiverse holds infinite versions of reality, then there may be other versions of you. One may be listening to this story in a universe almost identical to ours, while another lives a life shaped by choices you did not make here. In one reality, you may have taken a different path in your career. In another, you may live in a different city or speak a different language. The variations may be small, but in an infinite multiverse, every variation has its place. This thought can be unsettling, but it can also be comforting. It means that possibility itself is endless, that no single path is the only one. The universe you live in is the one that unfolded for you, but others may hold other versions of your story. Whether or not you believe those versions truly exist, the dream of them reminds you that your life is not fixed by necessity, but shaped by chance and choice. Every moment could be otherwise, and that truth carries both humility and hope. Infinity also invites us to think about universes far stranger than our own. Somewhere, there may be realities with different laws of physics, where gravity pulls more strongly or more weakly, where light bends in unfamiliar ways, or where matter itself behaves differently. Those universes may be unrecognizable to us, without stars, without galaxies, perhaps without space or time as we understand them. And yet, in an infinite spread, even such strange possibilities must be allowed. Infinity does not exclude, it includes everything, even what seems impossible from our point of view. Imagine walking along a beach where the shoreline stretches endlessly. You see grains of sand beneath your feet, but you know that there are more grains than you could ever count, more than you could ever imagine. The multiverse, if infinite, is like that beach. Each universe is a grain of sand, unique yet part of the whole. You stand on one grain, aware of only that small piece, yet all the others still exist, stretching beyond sight in every direction. Infinity makes the beach endless, and in that endlessness lies every variation of sand, every pattern of wave, every possibility of tide. There is also a quiet beauty in thinking about infinity, not as a number, but as a quality. It is not about how many universes there are, but about the fact that they never stop. There is no boundary where you can say, "This is the last one." There is always more, always beyond, always another. This quality makes the multiverse not only vast, but eternal in its richness, forever unfolding, forever surprising. For some, the thought of infinite universes can feel overwhelming. If everything exists somewhere, then what makes our universe special? What makes our choices matter? Yet the answer is simple. This universe is special because it is yours. Out of all the possibilities, this is the one you experience, the one you live in, the one that shapes your life. Other universes may exist, but they do not lessen the value of this one. If anything, they highlight how precious it is that among infinite possibilities, you are here, now, in this world, with its stars and its stories. The dream of infinity also deepens our sense of wonder. The galaxies we see already stretch our imagination, numbering in the billions, their light traveling for billions of years. But infinity goes farther, beyond numbers, beyond time. It suggests that no matter how far you look, no matter how much you imagine, there is always more. The horizon is never the end, only the beginning of another horizon. The multiverse becomes a dream without limits, a sea without shores, an endless unfolding of worlds beyond worlds. Rest with this thought for a moment. You are part of a universe that may be only one of infinite others. Your stars shine here, your earth turns here, your life unfolds here. But beyond the horizon, in the deep silence of infinity, other universes may stretch endlessly, carrying their own stories, their own versions of existence. You do not need to see them to feel their presence. The possibility alone is enough to remind you that reality is larger than any one vision, richer than any one life, deeper than any one universe. When you think about the universe, you know, it is easy to take its rules for granted. Gravity pulls objects downward. Light travels at a fixed speed. Stars shine by fusing hydrogen into helium. These laws feel unshakable, as if they are carved into the foundation of reality itself. Yet the idea of the multiverse opens a door to an even stranger thought. What if these rules are not universal at all? What if other universes obey different laws, with physics unfamiliar to anything we have ever seen? Try to imagine a world where gravity is not the gentle but firm force we know, but something far stronger. In such a universe, stars might collapse quickly under their own weight, burning out in moments rather than lasting billions of years. Planets might be crushed into their suns before life ever had a chance to form. The night skies of such a cosmos would be filled with short flashes, stars igniting and dying in rapid bursts, a universe of brilliance that flickered out too soon. Now think of a reality where gravity is weaker. In that case, galaxies might never form at all. Matter would drift endlessly, never gathering into stars or planets. Instead of light-filled skies, such a universe might be an endless haze of gas, diffuse and silent, with no sparks of life to notice it. What seems ordinary to us, the balance of gravity and expansion, is in fact delicate. It is tuned just enough for stars to shine steadily, for planets to form, for life to emerge. Other laws could be different as well. The strength of the electromagnetic force shapes the way atoms form and bond. If it were slightly altered, chemistry as we know it might not exist. Perhaps in another universe, atoms cannot hold together, and matter itself dissolves into clouds of particles. Or perhaps atoms bind too tightly, forming rigid structures with no flexibility, no softness, no life. Imagine a world where every object is as hard as stone, unchanging and immovable, a cosmos where growth is impossible. Even the speed of light, so fundamental to our universe, could vary in another. If light moved faster, communication across vast distances might be easier, and energy might spread differently. If light moved slower, stars might release their energy in unfamiliar ways, and the very fabric of space might ripple at a different pace. These changes sound small, but they would reshape everything, creating realities that look nothing like our own. It is possible that some universes exist in states so strange that they are beyond human imagination. Consider a place with no time, where events do not unfold but simply exist all at once. In such a universe, nothing would change, nothing would grow. It would be frozen, a complete whole, existing without beginning or end. Or think of a place with no space, where distance does not exist, where everything overlaps into a single point. To us, such universes sound impossible, but in the infinite spread of possibilities, perhaps even the impossible has its place. The thought that our universe's laws could be one version among many is both humbling and astonishing. It means that the conditions we depend on, the constants that allow stars and life to exist, are not inevitable. They are part of this universe's story, but not necessarily part of every story. Other universes may have burned out quickly, or remained empty, or never formed matter at all. And yet, somewhere among those possibilities, one universe had the right balance for life, and that is where we find ourselves. Some thinkers describe our universe as a kind of cosmic island, one with laws that allow stability and richness. Other islands may exist nearby in the multiverse, but their rules are so different that we would not recognize them. Some may be barren rocks in a cosmic ocean, others may be fertile, alive with light and motion. We happen to live on one of the fertile islands, and that is why we are here to wonder about the rest. There is beauty in this perspective because it shows us that the universe is not only vast in space, but vast in possibility. It suggests that reality itself is creative, trying out every variation, letting each version of physics play out in its own cosmos. We see only one result, but the dream of the multiverse says there may be countless others, some similar, some alien, some beyond description. As you let this idea settle, picture yourself standing on a shore, looking out across an ocean that stretches into mist. Each wave that rises may carry with it a different set of laws, a different rhythm, a different melody of existence. Some waves crash quickly, others roll gently, others fade before they reach the shore. The ocean itself is endless, and you can see only the surface, but you know it continues beyond sight, forever varied, forever alive with motion. This vision of countless universes with different laws reminds us not to take our own world for granted. The gravity that holds you to the ground, the light that travels to your eyes, the matter that forms your body, all are gifts of this universe's rules. If they were different, you would not be here to notice them. That knowledge does not diminish their wonder. It makes them more precious. You are alive because the laws of physics here allow you to be, and that truth is extraordinary. The multiverse dream is not just about abundance, but about fragility. It shows us how rare it is to find a balance that allows life, and how remarkable it is that such a balance exists at all. Other universes may be strange and hostile, but ours is welcoming enough to create forests and oceans, to give rise to thought and imagination, to allow you to sit here now, wondering about the rest. As you drift deeper into this thought, let yourself feel the quiet gratitude of being in a universe that allows stars to shine and hearts to beat. The possibility of other worlds with other rules only makes this one more special, more luminous, more mysterious. You live in a cosmos that works, a cosmos that holds you, a cosmos that invites you to dream of what lies beyond. There is another vision of the multiverse that does not rely on bubbles or infinite seas of universes, but instead arises from the very fabric of quantum physics. At the smallest scales of reality, the rules of the world no longer seem simple and certain. Particles do not follow straight paths, but instead exist in clouds of probability, their futures undecided until observed. This strangeness has led to one of the boldest and most fascinating ideas of all, that every possibility may come true, not one after another, but all at once, each in its own universe. Imagine standing before a crossroads with two paths. In your daily life, you choose one, and the other disappears, fading into what might have been. But in the quantum view of reality, both paths may exist, not only as possibilities, but as actual outcomes. In one universe, you turned left. In another, you turned right. Each choice branches reality, creating parallel histories that unfold side by side, unseen yet real. This is the dream of the many worlds interpretation, a multiverse not born from cosmic expansion, but from the splitting of possibilities at every moment. When seen this way, the universe becomes a tree of endless branches. Every decision, every event, every quantum flicker creates a new split, a new branch growing outward. At first, the differences may be small, almost invisible. A particle moves one way instead of another. A photon takes one path instead of its twin. But as the branches spread, the differences grow, and whole worlds emerge from what began as a single possibility. The multiverse of many worlds is not far away, but layered over our own, diverging with every heartbeat, every second, every breath. Picture yourself choosing whether to speak or to stay silent. In your reality, you choose one, but in another, the opposite unfolds. You may never know it, but in that other universe, another version of you lives a life shaped by that path. Multiply this by the countless decisions and events that happen each moment across the cosmos, and you can see how rich and vast this branching multiverse would be. It is not just about you, but about every star, every planet, every particle, splitting and unfolding in infinite directions. For some, this idea is unsettling. It means that there may be countless versions of you, each living a life that is both familiar and different. One may succeed where you struggled, another may fail where you triumphed, yet another may live quietly in a world that diverged long ago, shaped by choices no one remembers. Each version is real in its own universe, each as vivid and alive as you are here. If true, the multiverse means that no single path defines you, for all paths exist, carried forward in different realities. There is also something strangely comforting in this vision. When you look back and wonder what might have happened if you had chosen differently, the many worlds interpretation suggests that somewhere you did. Every possibility exists. Every outcome is played out. The universe does not lose paths, but keeps them all, weaving them into the fabric of infinite realities. You are here now because of the choices made in this branch, but other branches unfold elsewhere, carrying other stories. This perspective changes how we think about fate and freedom. If all possibilities exist, then the universe is not bound to one future. It contains every future, every history, every moment. That means the multiverse is not a single line but an ocean of branching waves, each one expanding outward, each one alive with its own reality. From this view, existence is not about what is fixed, but about what is possible. Think for a moment about the lives that might unfold from a single choice. Perhaps you decide to travel instead of staying home. That choice might lead to meeting someone new, changing the course of your life. In another universe, you stayed, and life continued differently. Each path leads to other paths, and each path is preserved in its own reality. Multiply this by every person, every creature, every star, and the branching becomes unfathomably vast. The many worlds multiverse is not only infinite in space, but infinite in story. It is natural to ask, if these universes exist, why can we not see them? The answer is that each branch is sealed from the others, diverging in ways that make them unreachable. Once the paths split, they do not cross again. You live in your branch, unaware of the others, even as they unfold. Yet the thought of them can expand your imagination, reminding you that the limits of your perception are not the limits of reality. Some dreamers wonder if the many worlds multiverse might explain the richness of creativity itself. When you imagine something new, are you glimpsing a path where it already exists? When you dream, are you touching another branch of reality, one that diverged from your own? These questions are not scientific proofs, but they offer a poetic way of seeing the connection between imagination and the multiverse. They suggest that every dream, every possibility, may find its place in the branching tree of worlds. The many worlds idea may never be proven, but its power lies not in certainty, but in possibility. It reminds us that reality can be far stranger and richer than we assume, that the universe we know may be one of countless others, each as real as ours. This vision does not diminish your life. It makes it part of a grander pattern, one in which every possibility matters, every choice echoes, every moment unfolds in infinite ways. As you settle into this thought, imagine yourself standing at the base of an immense tree. Its trunk is strong and wide, but its branches spread in every direction, splitting and splitting again, each one carrying its own leaves, its own blossoms, its own fruit. You stand on one branch, living one story, but all the other branches still grow, stretching beyond sight, beyond imagination. The multiverse of many worlds is like that tree, infinite in its branching, infinite in its beauty, infinite in its mystery. When people think about the universe, they often imagine it as three-dimensional space stretched in every direction, with time flowing forward as a fourth dimension. This picture feels complete, as though nothing could exist beyond it. But the laws of physics suggest that there may be hidden dimensions curled beyond our perception, invisible yet real, woven into the very structure of reality. These dimensions may be small and compact, or vast and unreachable, and they open the door to the possibility that other universes could exist alongside our own, separated not by distance but by layers of space we cannot touch. Picture a sheet of paper lying flat on a table. An ant crawls across its surface, able to move forward, backward, left, and right. To the ant, the world seems complete. But you, looking down, can see that the paper exists in another direction, upward, a dimension the ant cannot sense. Now, imagine that our universe is like that sheet, vast but limited, while other universes exist above, below, or beside it in directions hidden from us. They may be stacked like pages in a book, each one sealed, each one unfolding its own story, unseen by the others. The idea of hidden dimensions comes from attempts to unify the forces of nature, to bring together gravity, electromagnetism, and the other fundamental forces into one elegant framework. In these theories, extra dimensions are not optional but necessary. They may be curled up so tightly that we cannot perceive them, like threads wound within the fabric of reality itself. But in those dimensions, entire universes may exist, slipping past us like shadows, always present but invisible to our senses. To imagine such a reality, think of a house with many rooms. You live in one room, seeing only the walls around you, believing that to be the whole of existence. Yet beyond those walls, other rooms stretch outward, each with its own light, its own furniture, its own inhabitants. You cannot see them because the walls divide you, but they are there all the same. The multiverse, shaped by hidden dimensions, may be like that house, with countless rooms unfolding side by side, each one complete, each one alive with its own reality. If other universes exist in hidden dimensions, they may be unimaginably close, brushing against ours like two sheets of glass pressed together. Perhaps the particles of our world are trapped on our sheet, unable to cross into the other. Light and matter cannot pass through, but gravity, that most mysterious of forces, might slip between. Some scientists wonder if the strange pull we call dark matter could be the gravitational echo of another universe pressing faintly against ours. If that is true, then we are already feeling the touch of another world, even if we cannot see it. The thought of hidden dimensions also reshapes how we imagine space itself. Our universe feels vast, with galaxies stretching billions of light years apart. But if hidden dimensions exist, the true structure of reality may be even grander, more complex than we can grasp. What we see as distance might only be part of the picture. The fabric of reality could fold in directions we cannot perceive, carrying with it realms forever beyond our sight. Consider standing in a dense forest, trees pressing close around you, branches weaving into a canopy above. To you, the forest may feel endless, but above the canopy lies open sky, and beyond the sky, stars. The hidden dimensions of the multiverse may be like that, veiled from view by the limits of our perception, yet waiting just beyond, vast and rich with possibilities. The forest feels complete, but the sky still exists, just out of reach. The presence of hidden dimensions also brings a poetic thought about connection. If universes exist alongside ours, separated only by dimensions we cannot see, then perhaps reality is not a scattered set of islands, but a grand structure woven tightly together. We may not cross from one to another, but their nearness suggests a deeper unity. It is as though the multiverse is a tapestry, each universe a thread, woven together to create a whole far larger than any single strand. These hidden universes may be stranger than we can imagine. Some might have more dimensions than ours, allowing beings to move in directions we cannot conceive. Others may lack familiar forces, creating worlds with no light, no matter, no time as we know it. To us, they would seem empty, but from within, they may be as rich and complete as our own. The multiverse reminds us that what feels natural to us is only one version of what is possible, and that possibility stretches far beyond the boundaries of our senses. As you think about these hidden realms, imagine yourself standing before a closed door. On your side lies the world you know, with its stars, its galaxies, its laws. On the other side may lie another universe, sealed away, silent but present. You cannot open the door, but you know it is there, and that knowledge itself is enough to stir wonder. The multiverse is not only about distance, but about presence, about realities layered so closely that they touch without ever meeting. The beauty of this vision is that it invites us to see reality as larger than what we can measure. The world you know is vast enough to inspire awe, but the possibility of hidden dimensions whispers that there may be more, always more, forever beyond reach yet woven into the same fabric. You do not need to see them to feel their presence. The thought itself is enough to remind you that mystery is endless, and that the universe you call home may be only one room in a house of infinite design. There is a limit to how far we can see into the universe. The night sky appears infinite, yet the light that reaches our eyes comes only from a portion of reality. Beyond that, the expansion of space carries galaxies away faster than their light can travel to us. This boundary is called the cosmic horizon, a soft edge not of space itself, but of what we can ever perceive. Everything beyond it continues to exist, drifting further, slipping permanently out of reach. Picture yourself standing on the shore of a vast ocean at dawn. The water stretches endlessly, but you see only as far as the horizon. Beyond it lies more ocean, more waves, more distant shores, yet your eyes cannot follow. The universe is like that sea, and the cosmic horizon is like that line where water meets sky. The multiverse dream suggests that beyond this horizon may lie not only more of our universe, but perhaps other universes altogether, hidden in the vastness, unreachable forever. This perspective reshapes our sense of the cosmos. We often speak of the universe as if it were the totality of existence, everything that is or could be. But the cosmic horizon humbles that view. It reminds us that we live within a bubble of visibility, surrounded by a darkness that is not empty but simply out of reach. Galaxies drift beyond, their light lost to us, their stories hidden. If the multiverse exists, then beyond those unreachable galaxies may lie entire realms with their own laws, their own stars, their own mysteries, each slipping farther away as time stretches forward. The horizon itself is not fixed. It grows as time passes, as more light has the chance to reach us. Long ago, the visible universe was smaller, its horizon closer. As billions of years passed, it expanded, revealing more of the cosmos, yet always leaving some part hidden. No matter how long we wait, there will always be a boundary, always a line we cannot cross. This thought is both comforting and unsettling. It means mystery is eternal, that we will never reach the end of what can be imagined. Some describe the cosmic horizon as a kind of event boundary for knowledge. Beyond it, we cannot see, we cannot measure, and perhaps we cannot even imagine clearly. Yet the fact that the horizon exists means that there is always more beyond it, always realities slipping further into the silence. If we think of the multiverse as a collection of countless universes, then the cosmic horizon is a reminder that most of them are forever hidden, waiting beyond sight, like lanterns glowing behind an infinite veil. It is tempting to ask what happens at that horizon. Does the universe end there? Does space fold back on itself, looping into some grand circle? Or does it continue forever, with galaxies and stars stretching endlessly into a distance we will never know? The multiverse invites another possibility, that beyond that horizon lies not only more of this universe, but other universes altogether, their horizons overlapping with ours, each one sealed, each one expanding outward into infinity. Imagine drifting on a raft in the middle of that ocean, surrounded by water as far as you can see. You cannot glimpse the distant lands, but you know they exist. Other rafts may be out there, other shores, other worlds. You are isolated, yet you are not alone. The cosmic horizon creates a similar feeling. We may be confined to our bubble, but beyond it may lie other realms, unseen yet real, their light forever lost, but their presence still whispering through the silence. There is also a quiet beauty in the thought that the universe itself keeps secrets. The stars you see above your head are only a fraction of what truly exists. Their light is ancient, carrying stories across billions of years, yet it is only part of a larger whole. The hidden galaxies beyond the horizon remind us that reality is always larger than our vision, always richer than what we know. They are the unseen chapters of a story we can never finish, yet their existence makes the story more profound. The cosmic horizon also connects to time itself. As the universe expands faster and faster, driven by a mysterious dark energy, more galaxies slip away from us, crossing the horizon and disappearing forever. Each day, the universe grows emptier to our eyes, even though beyond the horizon it is still full of stars. One day, long into the future, the night sky may look bare, with only the nearest galaxies remaining visible. Yet we will know that the others are still out there, glowing in silence, unreachable yet real. This vision of the horizon transforms the way we see the multiverse. It suggests that most of existence is hidden, that what we see is only the smallest sliver of what may truly be. Beyond the horizon may lie infinite space, infinite galaxies, infinite universes, each carrying its own secrets. You do not need to reach them to feel their presence. The horizon itself is a reminder that reality stretches beyond your imagination, always outpacing your understanding, always inviting you to wonder. As you rest with this thought, imagine yourself at the edge of a great plain, the horizon stretching in every direction. You know that beyond that line, more land continues, forests and rivers and mountains unseen. You cannot walk there tonight, but you can still picture it, still sense its presence, still feel its weight. The multiverse dream is like that, a reminder that beyond the horizon lies more, always more, waiting in the silence, unseen but not unreal. Black holes are among the most mysterious objects in the cosmos. They are places where gravity grows so strong that nothing, not even light itself, can escape. To us, they appear as dark voids, silent and impenetrable, yet they may hold secrets far greater than we can imagine. Some dreamers of science and philosophy have asked whether black holes could be more than just endpoints of collapsed stars. Could they be gateways to other universes, hidden realms cradled inside the very places where our own reality seems to break down? At the heart of every black hole lies a singularity, a point where the known laws of physics cease to function. Matter collapses inward, space bends infinitely, and time itself loses meaning. We cannot see beyond that veil, for everything that crosses the event horizon is lost to us. Yet this very mystery invites speculation. If space and time break at the singularity, might they also bend into new shapes, unfolding into another universe entirely? Some theories suggest that when matter falls into a black hole, it may not simply be destroyed. Instead, it could pass through a kind of cosmic bridge, re-emerging elsewhere as the seed of a new universe. In this view, every black hole might be a womb of creation, birthing another cosmos beyond the reach of our own. If that is true, then our universe itself may have been born from such a process, a child of another reality, carried forth through a singularity into expansion and light. Imagine for a moment that each black hole you see in the night sky is not only a region of collapse, but a door. Behind that door lies another realm, with its own galaxies, its own stars, its own flow of time. You cannot step through, but you can picture it, a branching of universes hidden within the darkness. Our cosmos may be filled with such seeds, each black hole carrying within it the potential for entire realities. The multiverse dream becomes not just a spread of infinite universes, but a chain of births, one cosmos giving rise to another in an endless cycle. The idea is both strange and beautiful. Black holes, which seem like devourers of light, could also be creators, recycling matter and energy into new forms beyond our reach. Instead of being tombs, they may be gateways, and what we call the end may also be the beginning. This possibility adds depth to the mystery of existence, turning the darkest places in the sky into lanterns of creation. Of course, from our perspective, black holes are still dangerous and unyielding. Anything that crosses their event horizon is stretched, twisted, and crushed by unimaginable gravity. Yet, from the other side, if such a side exists, that destruction may not be an ending, but a transformation. Just as a seed must break open to release new life, so too might matter passing through a black hole become part of a universe we cannot see. This vision also reframes the story of our own universe. If our cosmos was born from a black hole in another reality, then our Big Bang may not have been the beginning of everything, but simply the beginning of this particular chapter. Other universes may have come before, and others may follow, each one linked by the silent bridges of black holes. In this way, the multiverse becomes not just infinite in space, but infinite in time, a lineage of universes stretching endlessly forward and backward. Think of it as a grand tree, each branch a universe, each black hole a point where one branch splits into another. The tree grows forever, new universes budding from old ones, each carrying its own laws, its own beauty, its own mysteries. We live on one branch, aware only of our own leaves and blossoms, but the tree stretches far beyond sight, rooted in mystery, flowering in infinite directions. The idea of black holes as gateways also adds poetry to the night sky. When you look at the dark spaces between the stars, you may be seeing not just emptiness, but doorways. Each black hole could be a hidden horizon, a place where another universe waits. The light you cannot see may shine brightly there, galaxies blooming in the silence, life unfolding in ways you cannot imagine. To you, the black hole is a void. To another universe, it may be the cradle of existence. Whether or not this is true, the dream itself reshapes how we feel about the cosmos. Black holes no longer seem only like destroyers, but like keepers of secrets, carrying within them possibilities larger than we can grasp. They are reminders that the universe is always more than it appears, that behind even the darkest veil may lie abundance and creation. As you let this thought drift through your mind, imagine yourself standing at the edge of a black hole. Space curves downward, light bends, and time slows. The stars around you stretch into arcs, their light spiraling inward. You know you cannot cross, but you sense that on the other side lies something vast and new. It is unreachable, but it is there, hidden behind the horizon, waiting in silence. This vision does not need proof to inspire wonder. The multiverse dream thrives on possibility, on the recognition that mystery itself is part of reality. Black holes may be more than we know, more than we can ever know. But by imagining what they might hold, we expand our sense of the cosmos, letting it carry us beyond the boundaries of sight into a realm of endless creation. Time is one of the most familiar aspects of our existence, and yet it is also one of the most mysterious. You feel it in every heartbeat, every sunrise, every passing day. It flows forward, carrying you from past to present to future. But what if this flow is not universal? What if time itself behaves differently in other universes, moving at different speeds, bending into unfamiliar shapes, or even looping back on itself in endless cycles? The multiverse dream invites us to wonder how reality might unfold if time were not what we think it is. In our universe, time and space are woven together into one fabric, shaped by gravity and energy. We see this in the way clocks tick slower near strong gravitational fields, or in how time stretches as objects approach the speed of light. Already, we know that time is not fixed, but flexible. If other universes exist, their versions of time may be far more varied, flowing in ways we cannot imagine. Imagine a universe where time moves faster than ours. Stars may form and die in what feels like moments. Galaxies may spin through their cycles in a blink. To the beings within that universe, everything would feel normal, but to us, their entire history would pass too quickly to follow. Now, imagine the opposite, a universe where time flows slowly. Stars might burn for what feels like eternity, planets might take ages to circle their suns, and life itself might unfold in long, unhurried rhythms. From our perspective, such a universe would seem frozen, barely changing, while from within, it would feel natural and complete. There is also the possibility of universes where time does not flow in a straight line. In our world, the arrow of time always points forward, from past to future. But in another universe, the arrow might point backward, with events unraveling instead of unfolding. Stars might collapse into clouds of gas, rivers might flow uphill, lives might be lived in reverse. To us, this would seem impossible, but to those who lived within such a universe, it would feel no stranger than our own forward flow. Another possibility is that time may not be a single stream but a loop. Imagine a universe where time circles back on itself, repeating endlessly. The same stars would shine, the same galaxies would form, the same events would unfold over and over again, like the hands of a clock circling endlessly around its face. To the beings within, each cycle might feel unique, but the pattern would repeat forever. It is a vision of eternal return, where history is not a straight line but a circle without end. The multiverse also allows for even stranger possibilities, such as universes without time at all. What would reality look like if events did not follow one another but existed all at once? Such a universe might be a frozen whole, complete and unchanging. From within, there might be no sense of before or after, no memory, no anticipation, only a constant now. It is hard for us to imagine because our very minds are shaped by the flow of time, but in the vast spread of the multiverse, even this could exist. Thinking about these variations in time can shift the way we see our own universe. We live in a reality where time flows forward, steady and unyielding. It gives shape to our lives, creating past, present, and future. But it is only one version of what time could be. Other universes may carry other versions, each one as real to its inhabitants as ours is to us. The multiverse dream reminds us that even something as fundamental as time may not be absolute, but part of a larger tapestry of possibilities. This vision of time also deepens our sense of wonder about the present moment. You live in a universe where time flows in a way that allows life, growth, and change. If it were different, you might not exist at all. The balance of time's flow is part of what makes your reality possible, and recognizing that balance can bring quiet gratitude. The seconds that pass are not just ordinary, they are gifts of this universe's rules, and without them, everything you know would vanish. Imagine yourself drifting in a river, the current carrying you gently forward. You cannot stop it, you cannot turn it back, but you can feel its steady flow. That is how time feels in our world, a river of moments moving always onward. Now imagine other rivers, some rushing quickly, some barely moving, some circling in loops, some flowing in directions you cannot follow. Each river is a universe, each one shaped by its own rhythm of time. You drift in your river, but beyond the banks, countless others flow, each carrying its own story. This thought does not diminish your life. It enriches it, reminding you that you are part of something vast and mysterious. You live in one version of time, but you can imagine others, and in imagining them, you expand your vision of what existence could be. Whether or not those other universes are real, the dream of them reminds you that reality is deeper than appearances, and that time itself is a mystery waiting to be explored. As you let these ideas rest in your mind, feel how they stretch your perspective. Time may not be fixed. It may not even be singular. It may be only one expression among many, one rhythm among countless others in the multiverse. You live within it, shaped by it, carried forward by it, but beyond, there may be universes where time sings other songs. Each possibility expands the mystery of existence, and each one invites you to wonder what lies beyond the flow you know. The universe you live in often feels orderly. Stars follow predictable paths, planets circle their suns, and the laws of physics remain steady wherever you look. There is comfort in that order, a sense that reality itself is reliable. Yet in the dream of the multiverse, there may be universes where order is rare, and chance itself is the guiding principle. Instead of fixed laws, these realms might run on randomness, where events happen without cause and patterns never repeat. Imagine stepping into such a universe. You might look for familiar rules, but none would hold. One moment, gravity might pull strongly. The next, it may weaken or vanish altogether. Light might bend unpredictably, appearing in one place and disappearing in another. Matter itself might flicker, existing one moment and dissolving the next. In such a reality, there would be no steady stars, no galaxies, no planets to anchor life. It would be a storm of possibilities, ever shifting, never settling. The very idea feels chaotic, and yet it has its own strange beauty. In a universe governed by chance, every moment would be unique. No two events would ever be the same. The cosmos would be an endless dance of unpredictability, a vast canvas where randomness painted constantly shifting shapes. It would not be a place for permanence, but for ceaseless change. From our perspective, such universes might seem empty or meaningless. Without steady rules, life as we know it could never arise. Yet to imagine them is to realize how extraordinary our own universe is. Here, the constants of nature remain stable, creating a foundation upon which complexity can build. Stars live for billions of years, planets orbit in steady rhythms. Chemistry creates bonds that endure long enough for life to grow. Our universe's order is not inevitable. It is one version among countless possibilities, and in universes of chance, order may never appear. It is possible, however, to dream of realms where randomness and order coexist, where chance shapes patterns in surprising ways. Even in our own universe, randomness plays a role. The arrangement of galaxies, the spin of particles, the shuffle of genetic code, all involve an element of chance. Yet within that randomness, order still emerges. The balance between chaos and structure gives rise to the richness of our reality. Perhaps, in other universes, that balance tips more heavily toward chance, creating worlds that are more turbulent but still capable of producing fleeting patterns like sparks flashing in the dark. Consider the ocean during a storm. Waves crash in unpredictable directions, the surface roiling with motion. Yet now and then, a rhythm emerges, a pattern of swells aligning for a moment before dissolving again. A universe ruled by chance may be like that stormy ocean, wild and unpredictable, yet briefly allowing shapes and structures to form before scattering them once more. Thinking about universes of pure randomness also makes us reflect on the role of chance in our own lives. Every moment is shaped by small uncertainties, from the flicker of particles to the roll of cosmic dice. Yet, within that unpredictability, order has taken hold, allowing your life to unfold. In a sense, our universe is already a blend of law and chance, where both certainty and uncertainty shape the story. The dream of universes ruled entirely by randomness simply stretches that balance to an extreme. There is also a quiet poetry in imagining that the multiverse may contain realms where nothing endures, where reality itself is a continuous cascade of newness. Such universes would not tell long stories, but they would tell infinite ones, each moment a story that exists once and never again. To us, that might seem futile, but in another way, it is profound. Every instant would be unique, every flicker of existence a singular creation, never repeated, never diminished. If you stand beneath the stars and watch them shine steadily through the night, it is worth remembering that their steadiness is a gift of this universe. In other realms, stars may never exist. Light may never shine long enough to be seen. Space itself may twist unpredictably, creating landscapes of chaos rather than order. And yet, those universes are still part of the grand tapestry of possibility. Their difference does not diminish our own. It only shows how delicate and precious order truly is. Let yourself imagine drifting through such a universe of chance. Around you, shapes form and dissolve. Light flashes and vanishes. Space stretches, then folds. There is no rhythm, no predictability, only the flow of change itself. It is not a place you could live, but it is a place you can dream of, a reminder that reality is not bound to one pattern, but open to endless variations. The thought of universes shaped by randomness also deepens our appreciation for the balance of our world. You live in a cosmos where order and chance work together, where stars endure yet still sparkle with variability, where life follows patterns yet still dances with unpredictability. It is a balance that allows both stability and surprise, both permanence and wonder. If other universes tilt too far toward chance, they may dissolve into chaos. But our universe, balanced as it is, creates the conditions for growth, for beauty, for thought. As you rest with this idea, imagine yourself holding a handful of sand. Each grain is small and random, scattered in no particular order. Yet together they form a beach, a landscape of immense beauty. The multiverse may be like that, with some universes as stable as mountains and others as shifting as sand. Even the universes ruled by chance are part of the whole, contributing to the vastness of possibility, shaping the dream of existence in ways we can barely grasp. There is a way of looking at the universe that sees everything as vibration. At the smallest levels, particles are not tiny solid beads but ripples of energy, moving in patterns and frequencies. From this perspective, reality itself is a kind of music, a vast symphony of waves resonating through the fabric of space and time. If this is true here, then perhaps in other universes the music is different. Perhaps their entire structure is shaped by vibrations we cannot hear, energies tuned to harmonies unlike our own. Imagine standing in a quiet room and hearing a single note played on a string. It vibrates, filling the air with sound. Now, imagine many strings, each vibrating at its own pitch, weaving together into chords and melodies. The universe you live in is like that. Atoms vibrate, molecules dance, stars hum with energy, galaxies resonate with gravity. All of it blends into one grand composition. But what if, in another universe, the strings were tuned differently, creating a song unlike anything we can imagine? That universe would still exist, but its very foundation would carry another rhythm. In some theories, everything that exists is made from tiny vibrating strings of energy. These strings are unimaginably small, far beyond what we can see. Their vibrations give rise to the particles and forces we know. The reason our universe has the structure it does may be because the strings here vibrate in certain ways. If they vibrated differently, everything would change. Matter might not form, light might not behave as it does, and the entire universe would unfold into another pattern of existence. This opens the dream that other universes might be created by other vibrations, each one a unique melody in the symphony of the multiverse. Think of how music can change the way you feel. A gentle melody can calm, a soaring harmony can inspire, and a discordant sound can unsettle. Now imagine that instead of shaping emotions, these vibrations shape entire realities. One universe may resonate in harmony, allowing stars and planets to form in balance. Another may hum with discord, never settling into stable structures. Each universe is its own song, and together They create an infinite orchestra playing across the multiverse. There is something profoundly beautiful in this vision. It suggests that existence is not random but artistic, that the foundation of reality may be as much about resonance and rhythm as about matter and force. Our universe, with its balance of laws and constants, may be like a well-tuned instrument, producing harmonies that allow complexity and life. Other universes may be tuned differently, some dissonant, some pure, each one unique, each one complete in its own way. Imagine drifting in a vast concert hall, the air filled with sounds you cannot quite hear but can still sense. Each tone belongs to a different universe, each vibration shaping a different reality. Some tones rise high and clear, others rumble low and deep, others weave together into patterns you cannot follow but can still feel. The multiverse, seen this way, is not just a collection of universes, but a chorus, each voice adding to the whole, each one essential to the fullness of the song. This way of thinking also connects to how we experience the world. Every breath you take, every beat of your heart, every thought in your mind, all are rhythms, patterns of energy moving in time. You yourself are part of the music of this universe, your body and mind resonating with the vibrations that shape reality. If other universes exist with other rhythms, then there may be versions of existence where beings live in flows of energy entirely unlike ours, their lives shaped by harmonies we cannot hear. The thought of universes shaped by vibration also reminds us of the importance of balance. In music, too much order becomes dull, and too much chaos becomes noise. Beauty arises in the balance between the two. Our universe carries that balance, with laws strict enough to create stability, but flexible enough to allow variety. Stars burn steadily, yet no two are the same. Life follows patterns, yet each creature is unique. This balance may be part of why our universe feels harmonious, like a melody both steady and surprising. Other universes may not have that balance. Some may be pure rhythm without variation, others pure variation without rhythm. Both would be real, but neither would feel like ours. Consider how a single note can echo in a canyon, bouncing back in overlapping waves, creating new patterns from a single sound. The multiverse may work in similar ways. One vibration gives rise to one universe, and its echoes ripple into others, each new universe carrying its own variation of the original note. The whole becomes a layering of harmonies, a resonance that continues forever. When you listen to music, you may sometimes close your eyes and let it carry you, feeling the notes as much as hearing them. Thinking about the multiverse in terms of vibration is similar. You cannot see the other universes, you cannot measure their songs, but you can imagine them, feel them, sense that reality itself may be a vast and endless symphony. As you rest with this thought, imagine the universe around you not as silent emptiness, but as filled with sound too deep to hear. The stars are notes, the galaxies are chords, the movement of space is rhythm. Beyond your hearing, other universes hum with their own songs, each one adding to the infinite music of existence. You do not need to hear them to know they are there. Their presence is enough to remind you that reality is not only vast, but also resonant, alive with unseen harmony. There is a way of imagining the multiverse that is unlike all the others we have explored. Instead of picturing universes made of stars and galaxies or shaped by vibrations of energy, this vision asks you to see reality itself as mathematics. In this dream, numbers and patterns are not simply tools for describing the universe, they are the very substance of existence. Our universe is one expression of mathematics, and other universes are other solutions to the same eternal equations. You have probably noticed how deeply mathematics runs through the world you know. The orbit of planets follows precise curves. The spiral of a seashell mirrors the same pattern found in galaxies, and the branching of trees resembles the same logic seen in rivers and lightning bolts. Everywhere you look, there is order, rhythm, and structure that can be described by numbers. This is not coincidence. It suggests that the universe itself may be mathematical in nature. If that is true, then the multiverse may be nothing more or less than the set of all possible mathematical structures, each one realized as its own reality. Imagine that every consistent mathematical pattern exists not only on paper or in the mind, but as a universe in its own right. Equations that describe geometry could give rise to spaces unlike our own. Systems of numbers could become the foundation for laws of physics unlike anything we know. Even the most abstract structures, ones we can barely imagine, might correspond to realities as real as ours. In this vision, mathematics is not a language we invented, but the very foundation of being. To picture this, think of a vast library filled with every possible book. Some books contain nonsense, others contain meaning, and some tell stories so rich they seem to breathe with life. If the universe is mathematics, then the multiverse is this library, each mathematical structure a different book, each one complete in itself. You live within one such story, shaped by the equations that govern matter, energy, space, and time. Other universes live within other books, written by rules you cannot comprehend. There is a quiet strangeness in thinking that everything you see, from the stars overhead to the thoughts in your mind, is ultimately an expression of numbers. And yet, when you look closer, it is difficult to escape. The behavior of light, the pull of gravity, the structure of atoms, all reduced to mathematical descriptions. Even beauty itself often follows patterns, like the symmetry of a snowflake or the proportions of a flower. If mathematics is woven into every corner of this universe, it may be that reality itself is nothing more than mathematics come alive. Some find this idea comforting. Mathematics is eternal, unchanging, universal. If reality is mathematics, then existence is not fragile or fleeting, but necessary. The universe exists because the equations that describe it exist. And if all mathematical structures exist, then the multiverse is infinite, containing every possible version of reality, each one inevitable, each one timeless. Others find it unsettling. If every mathematical structure exists as a universe, then reality is not chosen, but automatic. Every possible world exists, every variation of laws, every pattern of matter and energy. That means there are universes with stars like ours, universes with no stars at all, universes where the concept of space does not even apply. Each one is equally real, equally valid, equally inevitable. Think for a moment about the number line, stretching infinitely in both directions. Every number you can name exists on that line, no matter how large or how small. You do not need to create the number for it to exist. It simply is. The mathematical multiverse is like that, a line of infinite universes, each one existing because its structure is possible. We happen to live in one particular point on that line, but the rest still exists, whether we can see them or not. This way of seeing the multiverse also brings a sense of humility. We often think of our universe as special, but if it is only one solution among countless others, then it is simply part of a vast mathematical tapestry. It is unique to us, but not unique in the grand scheme. Other universes exist with their own elegance, their own internal consistency, their own beauty. To their inhabitants, those universes would feel just as real and important as ours feels to us. There is also a deep poetry in this vision. It suggests that existence itself is a kind of art, created not with paint or stone, but with equations and patterns. Each universe is a different expression of mathematical beauty, each one a different composition in the endless gallery of being. Some are simple, like lines and circles. Others are complex, like fractals stretching into infinity. Together, they form a masterpiece too vast for any mind to hold. As you reflect on this idea, imagine yourself standing in a hall of mirrors. Each mirror reflects a different image, some familiar, some distorted, some utterly strange. Each reflection is shaped by its own geometry, its own rules of light and form. The multiverse of mathematics may be like that hall, with every possible reflection existing somewhere, each one real, each one alive in its own way. You see only one reflection, but the hall itself stretches endlessly, filled with infinite variations. This perspective may never be proven, but that does not make it less meaningful. It reminds us that the universe is not just matter and energy, but also pattern and form. You are not only made of atoms, you are also shaped by the mathematics that guides them. Every breath you take, every thought you have, every star you see is part of this great equation, written into existence by the timeless language of numbers. As you let this thought rest in your mind, consider the possibility that mathematics itself is reality, and that the multiverse is the full set of everything mathematics can describe. We live in one verse of that eternal song, one equation among countless others, but beyond us, the song continues, infinite and unending, filling the silence with patterns, filling the void with beauty. The multiverse dream has carried us through many possibilities, each one stranger and more beautiful than the last. We began with the thought that our universe may not be the only one, that the stars above our heads might be only a fraction of reality. We wandered through horizons we cannot cross, into realms where time flows differently, where black holes may give birth to other worlds, where chance rules, where vibration and mathematics themselves create entire universes. Now, as we come to the end of this journey, the greatest wonder may be that the dream itself is endless. Every universe we imagined was a possibility, and each possibility invites another. The multiverse is not a single vision but an infinite unfolding, a reminder that mystery has no limits. No matter how far thought reaches, there will always be more beyond, more worlds to imagine, more truths to dream. That is the gift of the multiverse. It does not answer every question, but it keeps every question alive. Standing under the stars on a quiet night, you might feel the pull of this dream most strongly. You look upward and see the galaxies stretched like dust across the darkness, and you know that even this immense view is only a glimpse. Beyond it, the universe continues. Beyond the universe, there may be others, each one silent, each one vast, each one unknowable. And yet, the act of imagining them makes you part of the mystery, a mind within one universe daring to picture what lies beyond. Perhaps the multiverse exists, perhaps it does not. But in either case, the wonder it inspires is real. It reminds you that reality is always larger than your grasp, that every horizon hides another beyond it. Whether other universes are out there or only in the mind, the dream expands what it means to exist. It stretches your imagination into infinity and leaves you resting in the knowledge that mystery will never end. It is humbling to think that our universe, with all its galaxies and stars, may be only one verse in an infinite song. And yet, that thought does not make life here smaller. It makes it richer. To know that you are part of a reality so vast that it may contain uncountable universes is to realize that your life, fleeting as it may seem, belongs to something immeasurable. Every breath you take, every thought you think, is a note in the symphony of existence, resonating through one universe and perhaps echoing through many more. The multiverse dream also offers comfort. In a cosmos so large, nothing is ever truly alone. Even if universes are sealed from one another, they still exist side by side, like lanterns glowing in the night. Ours is one of those lanterns, burning with its own light, carrying its own story. Others may shine differently, with other colors, other rhythms, other laws. We will never see them, but their presence reminds us that reality is never empty. It is always full, always abundant, always more than we can hold. As we close this journey, picture yourself lying back beneath the stars. The sky above you is quiet, filled with light from galaxies that traveled for billions of years to reach your eyes. Beyond them, more galaxies stretch out of sight, and beyond them, perhaps other universes bloom in silence. You do not need to reach them to feel their wonder. It is enough to know they may be there, infinite and mysterious, waiting in the dark. Let that thought settle in your mind as softly as the night itself. The multiverse is not something you must solve. It is something you can rest within. It is a dream of infinite worlds, a reminder that reality is larger than any boundary, and that even here, in the quiet of your own life, you are part of something without end. And now, as this exploration draws to a close, allow yourself to release the questions, release the vastness, release even the dream. Let the mystery remain where it belongs, stretching beyond you, eternal and endless. Tonight, you do not need to hold the multiverse. You need only drift gently into rest, carried by the thought that you live within something immeasurable, something wondrous, something infinite. Good night.